Chancellor Cummings changes the mask mandate on campus.
And the university makes plans to put a mental health counselor in residence halls. I'm Jayla Coley.
And I'm Mahala Trash. Those stories, plus the new state budget, means millions of new dollars for UNCP.
You're watching Carolina News Today. In response to the declining COVID cases in Robertson County and here at UNCP, Chancellor Cummings has announced changes to indoor mask requirements. Face coverings will now only be required during indoor classes and other instructional settings. They'll be optional for all other indoor and outdoor campus locations. On-campus quarantine and isolation will also end on December 3rd. Any student who needs to quarantine or isolate will have to do so in their own apartment or permanent residence. Chancellor Cummings, who is a medical doctor, suggests that an unvaccinated person continue to cover their mouth and nose in all situations that put them in close proximity to others.
Nationally, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now recommending COVID-19 booster shots for all adults who got either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine at least 6 months ago. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration authorized the boosters for that on Friday. Anyone 18 years old or older who received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine should get their booster after 2 months. People who want to get their booster will need to know the dates and brand of their previous COVID vaccine, but the Pfizer and Moderna are considered interchangeable at this point. In North Carolina, if you can't find your paper vaccination records, you can access your information on the Department of Health and Human Services Access Portal.
UNCP has received a $78,000 grant to hire a mental health counselor to live on campus and serve residential students. The Director of Counseling and Psychological Services says students who are here 24/7 have needs that can be addressed outside of business hours and in a more personal way.
50% of the students that we actually see here at CAPS are living in the residence halls. And so I really want students to, if that's half of who we serve, I would love to be able to have someone where they are. For some that may not work, but this person will have more untraditional hours from what our office does. So in the evening, if they want to go to a counseling session, they'll be able to access services in that way. Another thing is, I hope that this person is more part of the housing and residence life staff, so that person's going to be more familiar. They're going to be doing outreach within the residence halls. And sometimes students like not really knowing that much about a person that they're talking to, but sometimes it really makes them feel a lot more comfortable to already know a face, to have kind of gotten to know someone and their personality so they know whether they're a good fit or not. And I'm really excited too about not only our students accessing mental health services, but for our resident advisors to have that extra support. So they're a student and they're a student employee, so they have a lot on their plate. So I really see this person really supporting them.
The Student Government Association has made mental health issues a priority this year. SGA Vice President Ashanti Hendricks says she likes the counselor in residence idea.
I think having in-house counselors will really help them step outside their comfort zone, help get over being homesick from home, and even so, just help them get involved on campus more, even more so the freshmen than any upperclassmen, because the freshmen are just now getting on campus, and they really don't have people that they know, and they don't really have a voice.
In preparation for the winter holidays, the Office of Community and Civic Engagement has begun to accept donations for a new initiative called Brave Box for one local elementary school. Student Service Leader Andrew Pavat describes this service project.
This is the Brave Box program, and it is dealing with food insecurities and income inequalities around the surrounding Robertson County area. On behalf of CCE, we are collecting donations for Rex Renard Elementary School, and we will be, our goal is to provide 50 students and families with non-perishable meals, snacks, food, beverages, school supplies, hygiene items, maybe even toys over the holiday break. Students go on break for about 15 days, and whenever they're home, we want them to have a meal that they would have while they're at school. So we're just trying to help out the community and work on alleviating some of those food insecurities. If you'd like to donate, you can come out to the Care Resource Center during our hours of operation, and you can drop off any donation that you feel that would benefit children over the holiday break. as well as if you need an arrangement, we can also pick up your donations as well.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has signed a new state budget into law, and it's the first time that he and the General Assembly have agreed on a comprehensive spending package since 2018. Employees at state colleges such as UNCP will get a 2.5% raise this year and next. On campus, the budget would pay for a multi-million-dollar renovation to the BA building, demolition of Jacobs Hall, and other projects such as upgrades to the dance studio floors at the Jones Center. The budget also authorizes UNCP to begin plans for a new health and STEM building.
UNCP's Model United Nations team racked up a bunch of awards at the regional conference over the weekend. The team represented in the United States and Chile. They sent 15 students to the conference in Atlanta, and none of them had participated in an in-person event before. The team won 2 Honorable Delegation Awards and 2 Outstanding Position Paper Awards. 2 UNCP students also won individual awards. Their advisor is Dr. Kevin Freeman in Political Science. There were about 400 students overall at the conference.
Continuing our 20 Under 20 series, CNT reporter Gethsemane Victoria interviews a 19-year-old member of the LEAD Fellows. LEAD Fellows are peer educators who engage their fellow students in leadership training.
I'm Katerina Maggio. I'm a second-year student, and my major is biology with a focus in zoology. I'm in LEAD Fellows, and I'm hoping to get more involved on campus and just branch out a lot more.
As well as being involved on campus, Katerina is passionate about animals. Her favorite class is animal science. She enjoys the learning process it entails and has big plans for her future.
To go to NC State, the vet school, and become a veterinarian after that.
I think Kat is definitely the kind of student you want to have in your classroom, and she makes me want to be a better student just because her effort and her determination to do so well is just amazing, and I think everyone could learn from it.
Katerina's biggest inspiration is her mom, who has been a huge supporter in her educational journey. As for advice for high school students looking to pursue a veterinary track, this is what she had to say.
I definitely get involved on campus and find some good biology professors and try to do some research with them, and that will give you a little shoe-in and help you out with all your resume stuff.
For Carolina News Today, I'm Gethsemane Victoria.
The UNC System President Peter Hans was officially inaugurated last week during a ceremony at the Hunt Library at North Carolina State University. The event was held in conjunction with the celebration of the system's 50th anniversary. Hans is the system's 7th president and a first-generation college student who graduated from Chapel Hill. He was appointed back in the summer of 2020 during the pandemic and previously served as the head of the North Carolina Community College System. As an undergrad at Chapel Hill in 1988, Hans and a group of other students tried to get the Carolina Gay and Lesbian Association defunded as a student organization supported by student fees. The body of a missing Penn State student is found, and her death sparks an investigation.
A golf cart stolen in North Carolina was not just any golf cart.
And Thanksgiving dinner may cost you a pretty penny this year. Those stories and more.
When we come back, stay tuned.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here. I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
The mystery of what happened to a missing Penn State student has been solved. Investigators say she fell down a garbage chute at her apartment building, but other aspects of her death remain unanswered.
The death of Justine Gross has been under investigation for a week. It was late in the evening last Wednesday, November 10th, when Gross was last seen alive at the Beaver Terrace apartment building in State College where she lived. Police say they were notified the next day that Gross was missing. Eventually, it led investigators here to the Center County Recycling and Refuse Transfer Station, where most of the refuse collected in Center County goes before being transferred to an out-of-county landfill. After several hours of searching, Gross's body was found at the station in the early morning hours last Friday. Police confirmed Gross died after falling inside an 11th floor disposal chute at Beaver Terrace. They add video evidence shows she appeared to be alone in the waste disposal room before falling. Police are not commenting on a report from Gross's mother, who says her daughter was given some type of drug, something to smoke, just before she ended up in the apartment building's waste chute room. For now, Gross's death is being termed accidental, pending the results of toxicology tests. The funeral service for Justine Gross in her New Jersey hometown is set for Saturday. In Centre County, Gary Sanderson.
At least 5 people are dead after a horrific incident in Wisconsin on Sunday. A SUV drove through a crowd at a holiday parade, leaving officials to wonder what caused the driver to flee a domestic incident and take it out on these unsuspecting strangers. CNN's Chris Wynn reports.
A holiday celebration turned to horror in Wisconsin as an SUV plowed through barricades straight into a parade, leaving dozens of victims behind.
I saw people right away run to the people that were hit and start doing CPR, and I saw people on the ground, there's blood, and it was really bad.
Now investigators providing some clues into what happened at a holiday parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin Sunday.
We do have a person of interest in custody at the moment, but this is still a very fluid investigation.
While still early in the investigation, indications are that the suspect was fleeing another incident when he drove into the parade route, that according to multiple law enforcement officials. At this time, there is no known connection to terrorism.
My heart goes out to those who were witness to these events. My heart goes out to those who lost a loved one tonight.
A police officer did open fire in a desperate attempt to stop the driver. No bystanders were struck. Witnesses describe the chaos that broke out.
People just started fleeing.
Residents now left shocked and grieving as a joyous occasion turned to tragedy in an instant.
When the crowd cleared out, that's when it looked like I saw people who appeared to be lying in the middle of the street, lying still, lying lifeless.
In Waukesha, Wisconsin, I'm Chris Wynn.
A North Carolina family seeks the return of a golf cart someone stole from their driveway. And this is not just any golf cart. It's one of the few sources of comfort for their toddler who's battling brain cancer. WRAL's Amanda Lamb has the story.
We've got a Ring doorbell. Looked on there, and we can see about 650 last night.
Ring doorbell video from the neighbor's house and the Bagley's house shows a thief casually stealing the Bagley's golf cart from their driveway.
My wife and I did not sleep a lot last night, just feeling that someone kind of violated our area, our space.
And it's not just any golf cart.
We found out that she had cancer when she was 4 months old.
2.5-year-old Sarah Beth Bagley is battling brain cancer.
She was a very hard baby to keep content.
For Sarah Beth, the golf cart is her happy place.
Because that was the only place that she seemed like she was comfortable, and she would just kind of zone out, and it would help her feel better.
The couple has been trying to placate Sarah Beth with her pink plastic car, but it's just not the same.
So we keep trying to deflect to that. Unfortunately, it's not making her quite happy enough.
You could just drop it back off in the middle of the night. We wouldn't even ask questions. We would just be happy to have it back, because she's already been crying about it.
In case the thief doesn't return the toddler's card, a family friend set up a GoFundMe page to raise money for a new one. In less than 24 hours, the campaign exceeded its goal.
The cost of putting Thanksgiving dinner on the table is going up. That's according to the results of 2 national surveys. CNN's Jen Sullivan gives us the details on which of our favorite menu items will cost the most.
A record-breaking meal. The price to put Thanksgiving dinner on the table this 2021 will be 14% higher than last year.
That 14% increase is the largest increase we've ever seen in the market basket.
An informal survey from the American Farm Bureau Federation finds dinner for a family of 10 will cost an average of $53.31. That's $6.41 more than last year. Economists blame the increase on inflation, supply chain issues, and a surge of demand for food during the COVID-19 pandemic.
A lot of us were staying at home and using cooking as a form of entertainment.
Turkey prices saw the biggest increase, up 24% since last year. One caveat is that the survey was carried out before grocery stores started advertising promotional prices, which happened later this year.
When you start looking at those promotional prices kicking in, we're starting to see significant declines in the cost of turkey.
Other staples are seeing an increase. Pie crusts up 20% and dinner rolls up 15%. A similar survey from the Department of Agriculture also estimates that Americans will spend more this Thanksgiving, but only 5% more. And when it comes to availability, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack says you'll still find what you need on shelves.
There may be situations throughout the country where a particular grocery store may not have as many turkeys as necessary, but at the end of the day, there's going to be plenty of food on Thanksgiving plates.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
There's lots of variety in how Americans celebrate Thanksgiving, and also a lot that's pretty universal. CNT reporter Michelle Yitz asked UNCP students about their favorite traditions and foods and what they're grateful for this year.
It's my wiener dog Mabel's birthday, and so we always take a small scoop of all the food and we put it on the plate, and everyone sings her happy birthday while she eats it.
For the longest time, our tradition was to go to my grandmother's house in Kentucky.
The Macy's Day Parade, as well as putting up the Christmas tree and watching the football game and having a nice, good family meal.
The whole family meets up at my grandma's house or her sister's house, and my grandma always cooks a turkey and her sister always cooks a ham.
I like cheesy potatoes, and my mom puts like jalapenos in it.
Probably venison.
Mashed potatoes and gravy, probably.
Turkey with gravy, can't go wrong with that.
I'm grateful to go home. I live in Oklahoma, so.
I'm thankful for my travel plans so far working out because I'm going to use a gap semester to do some volunteering abroad.
I'm grateful I'm finally getting settled into college.
I'm grateful that I get to get together with all the family that I don't get to see throughout the rest of the year.
It's turkey time at the White House too, and President Joe Biden has spared 2 birds from a Thanksgiving fate. Turkeys named Peanut Butter and Jelly got their moment at the White House on Friday. Peanut Butter lifted onto the table, received Mr. Biden's blessing first. On the ground was Jelly, also getting a pardon. The birds will retire to their home state of Indiana to live at Purdue University Animal Services, Education, and Research Farm. The first documented turkey pardon was from President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The tradition became the norm at the White House with George H.W. Bush in 1989.
A conference opener excites Braves basketball fans over the weekend with a game that goes into triple digits.
But some other programs see their postseason come to a quick end.
I'm out of here, but CNT Sports with Andrew Thrift is up next.
The UNCP men's basketball team crushed Erskine this past Saturday night, winning 110-73. The Braves were lights out in this one, shooting 57% from the field and 40% from downtown. Redshirt senior Spencer Levi and redshirt sophomore Jakari Gallen both recorded double-doubles, with Levi scoring 19 points and 11 rebounds. Gallen scored a baker's dozen, while also pulling down 12 rebounds. Coach Drew Richards said after the game he thinks the team is getting past their tendency to hit a first-half slump.
I think we haven't started first halves as well as we should. And season, it's a long season. There's just spinning plates. One plate starts wobbling, you got to spin it. And I think one of the plates that we're not doing a great job of spinning right now is starting the game, or even kind of in the middle of the first. I don't necessarily start the game. We started other games well, but in the middle of that first half, kind of having a lull. And so usually in the second half, there's a big challenge at halftime to kind of put your gas on the pedal and take off. Let's really run. Let's really push. And our guys have taken that to heart the last couple games. So hopefully, eventually, we'll get to a point where, the rah-rah halftime speech doesn't need to happen, and we just continue to attack and be aggressive even without it.
That same day, the women bounced back from 2 recent losses and notched their first Conference Carolinas victory. A quick 7-0 lead began with a 3-pointer from Kelsey Adams just 17 seconds into the game. The Braves kept Erskine at just 1 basket in the first quarter, although they eased up in the second. The Braves steamrolled into the third quarter with a 12-0 scoring run. The Flying Fleet did get within 8 points of the Braves in the fourth quarter, but Tierra Williams helped seal the win with 5 quick points with less than 2 minutes remaining. Final score, 59-49. The Braves have captured 3 of their last 4 conference openers. although it's the first season in Conference Carolinas. Both the men and women are on the road today at Emmanuel College in Georgia. Former Peach Belt Conference opponent Flagler College put an end to a national tournament run for the Braves soccer in their first round game Friday in Columbus, Georgia. Both teams were scoreless in the first half, and the Saints were already up 2-0 in the 62nd minute, when Ashley Harris scored the only points for the Braves on a penalty kick. Harris had 2 shots on goal for that afternoon. Flagler moves on to the regional semifinals against Columbus State on Sunday. Friday night, Braves volleyball fell to top seed North Greenville in the Conference Carolinas tournament semifinal round. It was 3-0 sweep by the Crusaders, who crushed the Braves in the second set, 25-7. Still under head coach Carly Wheeling, the Braves had enjoyed the most victories in a single semester since 1994. They also had the most conference victories in school history, having switched to Conference Carolinas this year. The Braves' Katie Presley stood out Friday night with 23 assists and 9 digs. CNT's 20 Under 20 series has not neglected Braves athletics, so this look at Spirit Squad member Shelby Perry fits right in. CNT reporters Trinity Russell prepared this feature look at a special sophomore who used the pandemic as inspiration to get involved.
Hi guys, my name is Shelby Perry. I'm 19 years old. I'm a mass communications and public relations major here at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. I'm involved in a lot of organizations and jobs here on campus. I am on the executive board of the Pembroke Activities Council, where we basically plan like all the fun, engaging, exciting events for all the students here on campus. I also work at the diversity office here at UNCP, where I manage like the social media accounts and execute any marketing campaigns that we do. I'm on the UNCP Spirit Squad cheer team, where I'm a second-year veteran, so that's super exciting. And lastly, I'm a new member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I decided to get active, one, because my freshman year here in 2020, there wasn't a lot going on campus. We didn't have the time to really get to know each other and get to talk with our fellow classmates. So I decided to get active on campus because I wanted a social component that could make me feel at home here on campus. Because I am from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it is a bigger city, coming down in Pembroke definitely was an adjustment for me. I wasn't used to that rural community, but I soon fell in love with it because I got involved and because of the opportunities here on campus and the people. And it's just like a small family here. Everyone's supportive and everyone basically is just lovely and they all support each other.
UNCP's Joshua Chepkesser was the only competitor from Conference Carolinas at the NCAA Cross Country Championships Saturday in Tampa, Florida. Chepkesser finished 8th in the 10K with a time of 39.5. He was about 41 seconds behind the first place finisher from Grand Valley State. Chepkesser is a 2-time All-American from Pembroke, only the second runner in the team's history to rack up multiple All-American honors, with former Olympian Pardon Levu. Some school records in Braves' swimming program were broken Saturday at the William Peace Invitational, and Pembroke came away with the win against 11 other schools. The Braves took top 2 finishes in the 200-yard individual medley and the 500-yard freestyle. Senior Jillian Manning broke her own record in the 100-yard breaststroke victory and won the 100-yard and the 500-yard freestyle events. The Braves have 2 weeks off from competition and then host Converse University at home on December 4th.
That's all we have time for today, and that's it for the semester. I'm Jayla Coley.
And I'm Andrew Thrift, and it's been fun. Thank you for watching.
Happy holidays, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch up with CNT next semester.